Are you trying to change the color of a node in Graphviz after it has already been drawn? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore how to recolor a single node in Graphviz using Python. I totally understand how frustrating it can be when you want to make a quick change to your graph, but the code just doesn't cooperate. You're not alone in this. Many users face similar challenges when working with Graphviz. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user asked, is it possible to change the properties of a single node after it has been drawn? They provided an example where they created a simple graph with two nodes and an edge, but they want to know if they can change the color of node B after it has been generated. Sound familiar? Let's find out together. To understand this better, let's look at how Graphviz works. When you create a node, you can set its properties at that moment. However, changing those properties later can be tricky, especially if you're not using the right methods. We'll break down the steps to help you achieve this. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to change a node's color, but also gain some valuable tips for working with Graphviz more effectively. To change the color of a node after it has been generated, the user can utilize the Graphviz's built-in methods. First, they need to create a new node with the desired color. Next, the user should render the graph again to see the changes. This is done by calling the render method on the graph object. If the user wants to change the color of an existing node, they can modify the node's attributes directly. However, this requires a workaround since Graphviz does not support direct modification of existing nodes. Finally, the user can visualize the updated graph by displaying it in their preferred format. This allows them to confirm that the changes have been applied successfully. Fun fact, did you know that Graphviz was originally developed at AT&T Labs? It's been a go-to tool for visualizing graphs for many developers around the world. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggests that once a node is created in Graphviz, it cannot be edited directly. Instead, you can manage your graph using your own data structure. For instance, maintain a list of node names that should be colored blue. When you're ready to render the graph, use this list to construct your Graphviz graph. Human. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. An alternative approach suggested by another user involves directly editing the graph object. They demonstrate how to modify the node labels by accessing the graph's body attribute and updating the specific entries. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative approach suggested by another user is to save the generated graph as an SVG file. You can then edit the SVG directly to change the color of a specific node using CSS. Since SVG nodes have unique IDs, this makes it straightforward to modify attributes like color. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative approach suggests setting your output format to dot. This way, the layout is calculated but not drawn. You can then modify the Graphviz file using Python or other tools to change colors or attributes. Finally, use the command nido-png myfile.myfile.png to draw the graph. Here's a pro tip. Always keep your node definitions organized. This way, if you need to make changes later, it will be much easier to manage your code. And there you have it. You've learned how to recolor a node in Graphviz after it has been generated. Remember, while you can't change properties directly, redefining nodes is a simple workaround. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.